Okay, so now we're going to add water to each of our aquifers that we have made. So with the first jar, which is the one that I'm doing right now, we're going to fill it above the water table. So we're going to overfill the jar, so leaving water at the top. So we're going to let it sink in a little bit, and then we're going to add in some more water. And so, as you can see, we have water that's still sitting above the sand and rocks that were used. And now we're going to do the same thing with the second jar, except this time we're not going to overfill it, so we're not going to oversaturate it with water. And what this is going to illustrate is filling up water up to the water table markings, so we're not oversaturating the water table. And the glass around, so like the glass beakers, are illustrating our impermeable rocks, so the water cannot migrate past the glass and move past it. And as you can see, we haven't overfilled that one, so that one's going to be illustrating filling up to the water table, and that one's going to be showing that we've overfilled it, and so there's a lot more water available and higher than the water table. So now we're going to show what a heavy rain event would do. So it's heavily raining, we're adding in more water, and as you can see, there's availability in the aquifer to take in water. So with the second one that we didn't overfill with water, it was actually able to absorb a lot of that water addition, whereas the second one we added water, it just kept filling up and really isn't able to absorb any more water. So now we're going to do another heavy rain event. So this is going to be heavier than the first one. And so it did go above, but we're still able to absorb water. So since we only filled up to the water table, there's enough space to absorb more water within the ground of the subsurface. So we don't end up flooding and we don't end up oversaturating the aquifer and end up with a flood. Whereas if we do the same thing with the beaker on the right, which we're going to have to put a watch glass underneath, just to catch the extra water in case it runs off. So we're having a heavy rain event with that one, and there's really no space in the aquifer that we've made to absorb any more of that water, so all it's doing is just rising up and sitting on top. So we have one that was able to handle the heavy rain event, and we have one that is very full, higher than the water table, and so water wasn't able to be absorbed into the aquifer. So if this was a real life situation, the heavy rain event, the water wouldn't be able to completely absorb into the ground and be collected within the aquifer.